Shirley here with Sirius Taurus Moon. This is Soul Hour, Soul Day. Sun is separating from the square to Neptune, and midheaven 29 degrees Scorpio, ascendant 14 degrees Aquarius. Saturn is on the degree when it would turn retrograde, and Mars is about to ingress to Gemini and meet Sedna and Uranus. What I was seeing, and please take it as metaphor, okay? Like, just, it's approaching Sedna, Uranus is there, but what I was seeing, because midheaven is on my lot of prediction and the ruler is about to ingress to Gemini. Venus middle deck in Leo. Now, the combination of this Venus-Mars with Venus in Leo, everything is me tooing. Mars is real estate. Sedna, we know Sedna's story. Sedna, she was the girl that, depending on the myth, her father couldn't wed her, and he tried to trade her for power. But eventually she had the power and not the father. There are other versions where he regrets that and he tries to save her, but she loses her fingers and drowns in the ocean, or alternatively where he said, oh, I will wed you to a dog, and then she's just happy with the dog, kind of like choosing the bear. And when he says she would live here in this the house of the dogs, and she's like better there. And of course it triggered a lot of things. It's an Inuit myth. Now there's another story, and that story I think is Sami, and that story is about the spirit of a woman that hunts the village, because that woman lived in a house. Then she didn't have money to pay rent, so she was asked to give the pot where she cooks. And then she gave her this, and then she did not have money to pay rent, and then she was asked, basically the landlord wanted to rape her for rent. And she did not agree, and then her spirit hunted, she cursed the entire village, and her spirit hunted entire village, both in Sedna's story and in the Sami story. The village that was dealing with famine, dealing with loss of food. Now, another thing is that this Uranus that Mars is about to ingress and meet is sextiling Neptune, and Neptune is in the first decan, first term of Aries, which is the Mars. According to Austin Kopuk, there is a particular image that has with this decan, and this is the X in the head. Aries is the head, and I'm sorry, but this is so. The image that I was seeing, and this is metaphor. As long as nobody rapes anybody, then this is metaphor. It's not, as long as nobody thinks that rape is something, or that sexuality is something tradable, or that sexuality is something that people do for a house or whatnot, then this stays metaphor. But this was a vision where somebody thought that some landlord, some crooked landlord tried to say that somebody was, that they were with somebody for rent. Basically, they were exposing themselves as a serial rapist and human trafficker, criminal against humanity, which is punishable by death, which is very stupid. But this is kind of like the vision that I got. And then what happened is the people around the village, some of them were stupid, some of them didn't understand so much about that sexuality is not something that one can trade, that sexuality is not something that is done for housing or for people pleasing even or whatnot. And so they didn't understand that he was confessing that he is a criminal against humanity, and they should have decapitated him on the spot. And he thinks that he deserves payment. And of course, whoever was there was running away because he was a fucking rapist, right? And then someone hears it and says he better not think that somebody owes him payment, because the payment that somebody owes him is an axe in his head. Now, I was getting that on some sort of a mundane reading. It can be the axe in the head, can be that people thought that, let's say, profitable cities will be profitable, and the axe in the head can be financial dissolution, because Neptune is in sign of Mars, and it can mean a sudden windfall, or that could be followed by sudden dissolution. Now, the sudden windfall could be something that is a bubble, that by the time that Uranus and or Mars reach the end of Gemini, it's like somebody like, oh, I made a so-and-so money, then they try to cash in, and it's like, oh, but it's gone. Or somebody thinks, oh, I made a windfall, and then they try to cash in on that windfall, and they get, where's Neptune? The axe in the head, because they thought that they will profit off of people being raped. The Sun in Cancer is also in sign of housing. Moon is Mula, Nakshatra, applying to the galactic center, separating from conjunction with Lilith. And Sun in Cancer reminds us that people cannot be leaders if they are not supportive of the people. And together with this Moon Lilith and Mars Uranus Sedna, it means supporting on the people when it comes to housing where there's no rape, food where there's no rape. Otherwise, there will not be food for anyone, and there will be curse on the cities. Mercury is with Procyon. Jupiter is about to ingress to Leo, so Venus in Leo reminds us the value, the standards. Venus in Leo is kind of like a Me Too transit. Jupiter in Leo, with Jupiter in Leo, we are going to have all the Me Too aspects of Leo really being big. It's kind of like the problem gets bigger until it is resolved. Or alternatively, the problem is resolved quicker because Jupiter can also be optimistic. But then people have to have the introspection. Okay, they cannot be stuck in the ego, because if they are, then they will get the axe in the head for trying to believe that they can profit off of somebody being raped. Or that their religion will be appreciated or not persecuted if it is justifying rape. As to any religion or philosophy. Pluto retrograde, degree 4. Of course, in July we're going to have this Uranus ingress into degree 4. Jupiter opposing Pluto, what people call as the golden age ingress. As I think we'll just have to get there because Jupiter opposing Pluto is in no way an easy aspect. Jupiter is to make something big, Pluto is to transform from the core. So it's a big religious transformation from the core regarding what we believe about the heart, leadership, men, patriarchy. And anything in Leo has a Me Too thingy. People had a lot of clues, they had a lot of time to catch up, at least since the Me Too. If they didn't, this transit is going to be very difficult for them. Because Pluto is in the decan of what Austin Coppola calls the exile from paradise. Oh, this is interesting. I point the finger and it looks like there is difficulty with the finger was a bit shaky. I don't know if it is usual. Yes, my finger is the pinky is a little bit shaky. Interesting, because I had to defend myself with the weird occults that is happening in the region. Yes, Moon ingress to degree 24. I'm trying to see if this means anything. It's like, oh, only the pinky. Only the pinky is shaky. Interesting. But only in one hand. Wow. I have Chiron in Gemini. I'm just observing curiously. I think geranium oil would probably be good for that. Let's try to put some geranium oil and see. Because geranium is to do with the nerves. And Senna is indeed very associated with these things. But it's only one finger, and only that finger was shaky. Like, I'm used to the fact that sometimes weird things happen. Um, Today, right after I met a lady that I stayed at during COVID, when I had to run away from violence. But then there were weird things happening there to both of us, and her family also hosted, and she stayed in that place. I remember she wanted to move. She said her father was buying a house or something, but she stayed in that place, and she stayed with the same job. And I remember I was angry at her because back then her approach to rehabilitation was like the people that cause people to suicide a bit. I mean, was a good person. She was used to work in corporations. She was not used to. And I helped her a little bit with the application to get her rights, which was surprising to me that I could help somebody. um, I think it's getting better. But after I met her, I had a huge attack for several, I think almost an hour. Um, so, not saying, God forbid, it came from her, not at all. But whatever was attacking back then, I guess, was so. Yes, the finger is still, my pinky is still shaky a little bit. Very interesting. I will see if it continues tomorrow. But this is very interesting. I have Chiron in Gemini, so it's not impossible. And indeed, I went through significant amount of fears and traumas and so it's not like I can sit still, feel my feelings. That not, at least up until now, is not the privilege that I had. This is interesting. So it is just the pinky and it is shaking a little bit. Okay, oh, now it calmed down, but if I want to. For me, I was just so curious. Um, and I'm trying to find. There was something very. I was just so curious, like a child, about this, but it felt like joy, maybe joy at adulthood, joy at. Yes, I'm not like I'm going to die tomorrow, but um, it's something that felt like joy to me, not like something terrible, like the joy of something to do with old age. Although I'm only 42, I heard, by the way, that us Chiron Geminis are having weird symptoms in earlier age, and this could be said now to our Chirons. I remember when I just opened the solar year, there was something I think with the hearing that I think later got okay, and it's probably because Sedna is going over our Chirons. By the way, the Chiron Taurus, I see it a lot as the sensory safety that autistic people need. I don't know if they have motor stuff. I think for common Geminis we could have motor stuff. Um, I think it's just getting better now. It is so funny. It's like I'm holding my hand, and then one finger is like completely in a different age, like of an old lady shaking, and only in one hand. Oh, now it was okay. Now okay. When I don't focus. No, is it? No, it's not. This is okay, but this is one pinky just entered. It's like one pinky turned instead of 42, 70. Not even 70, like even older. It's interesting. Mercury is in Procyon. Mercury is applying to square Chiron. The pinky finger, I think, is associated with Mercury. Now it almost doesn't move. But this is fascinating. And applying to sextile Uranus Sedna. Almost doesn't move. Yeah. Now this could also come from the stones that I was wearing. There were attacks on. I got myself lapidolite, which was given also to survivors of the 7th October, the Nova Party. Um, and by the way, if people are in contact with people in Gaza, the lapidolite is for extreme trauma, apparently. The purple color is from lithium, and I think it can be put in good water and drank in good water. And the kunzite is also more tender. Um, so yeah, that just happened and diverted the attention. Maybe the geranium helped a little bit, but no. It could also be because I held tightly to the bracelets to fight off the weird occult. Um, Venus hour, Venus in the 7th house, Sol in the 6th, Moon in the 11th.